Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. On this video I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Crystal Palace Manchester United game. So yesterday night it ended Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 2 at Selhurst Park. So very good result. It does keep our top 4 ambitions alive. We do now go level on points with Leicester, and we are just 1 point behind Chelsea with two games remaining. And we know if we win these two remaining games, we will finish in the top 4. We are now unbeaten in our last 19 games in all competitions. We are unbeaten in our last 11 Premier League games. But it was a good response from the 2-2 draw with Southampton because, we did drop 2 points against Southampton. I was infuriated that we didn't beat Southampton because obviously, we missed out on the chance to go third. So anyway, the goals were for Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford had also got an assist. Rashford has now got 22 goals in all competitions this season, and it is his third goal since the resumption of the season. And Martial has got 22 goals in all competitions this season, and it's his 51st Premier League goal for Manchester United. So, David De Gea, I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday night. Made some fantastic saves from, he denied Wilfred Zaha quite a few times. He also, made a fantastic save from Milivojevic from a free kick. He also made a fantastic save to deny Jordan Ayew. And that's David De Gea's best performance in a while for Manchester United. It was his 401st appearance for the football club. We know he's just recently become the second goalkeeper to make 400 appearances after Alex Stefani, and he's already taken over Peter Schmeichel as David De Gea. But yeah, what a fantastic performance it was from him, because David De Gea has been criticised in the last couple of years, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. This has been David De Gea's 9th season at Manchester United, and he's approaching his 10th year at the football club. And like he updated you yesterday, David De Gea is intending on staying at the club for several years. Harry Maguire, I don't think he had a brilliant game, to be quite honest with you, Harry Maguire. I thought he did make some good interceptions. He made some good interceptions. He had a few headed chances, Harry Maguire, and he actually should have converted at least one of them. He should have converted at least one of them. But, I don't think he was too good because he left, far too much space in behind. I don't think Lindelof was too good defensively, but again, made a couple of key tackles. Fosu-Mensah, by the way, he made his first appearance for Manchester United for over 3 years. And I thought he made a fantastic impact for Fosu-Mensah. I thought his height and his pace was very useful. He did start at left back because obviously, Brandon Williams and Luke Shaw are unavailable. Luke Shaw's got an ankle injury. And don't forget, Brandon Williams has got a concussion. I actually, thought Diego Dalot would have come in at left back, but it's looking likely, we're going to sell Diego Dalot in the summer transfer window. So Fosu-Mensah, did quite well, to be quite honest with you. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he got into some good positions in the game, but, didn't really create anything, didn't really make a lot of deliveries, Wan-Bissaka. So I thought he looked quite fatigued again, did Wan-Bissaka. Scott McTominay, he made his first start for Man United since Tottenham, because we do know that Matic has been starting a lot, since the resumption of the season. Matic didn't start, but he came on in the game, and I wasn't too impressed with McTominay yesterday night. I thought, he looked very slow on the ball. He took far too many touches, did McTominay, and that actually, slowed the play down. So I don't think, he had a great game, McTominay. Paul Pogba, he did okay in parts of the game. I thought, we did look dangerous when Paul Pogba did have the ball, but I don't think he was too good. But I think prior to the game yesterday and prior to the game against Southampton, I think Paul Pogba's done really well since the resumption of the season. Don't forget, he said that Paul Pogba is close to signing a 5-year contract at Manchester United. Reportedly, his contract extension is going to be announced at the end of the season. If he does sign this new contract, it will take him under contract with the football club till 2025. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his contract with an option of a further year. At one point, he was looking very, very imminent. He was going to be leaving Manchester United, because he was linked to a move to Real Madrid. There was a lot of narratives about him possibly going back to Juventus and that. But if we can get him this new long-term contract, it will end the uncertainty over his future. Bruno Fernandes yesterday, I thought he was okay. Bruno Fernandes wasn't his best performance. I think he gave the ball away cheaply quite a few times. Don't forget Bruno Fernandes also hit the post in the game. So he actually, should have got his name on the score sheet. He was involved in, one of the goals as well was Bruno Fernandes. But I still think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Bruno Fernandes has now got his 8 goals for Man United since we got him from Sporting Lisbon in January. We got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth £65 million. With add-ons included. And Bruno Fernandes has won back-to-back Player of the Months, and he's become the first player to do that for Man United since Cristiano Ronaldo. He won Player of the Month for June. He also won Player of the Month for February. So I don't think it was too bad, Bruno Fernandes. Mason Greenwood, I thought he struggled, did Mason Greenwood. He may not have been fully fit because don't forget recently, Mason Greenwood had that ankle injury. He sustained it in the 2-2 draw with Southampton, when Romeo had challenged him, and obviously, Romeo should have been sent off. But I still think Greenwood's enjoyed an exceptional season. Mason Greenwood's got 16 goals in all competitions this season for Man United. And, Solskjaer's been talking a lot about Greenwood recently, saying that he's ready to play for England at senior level. And he said, that Mason Greenwood is undroppable. I didn't think Mason Greenwood would have started the game yesterday night, but obviously, he did. But he is still my preference ahead of Daniel James. But yeah, yesterday night, it wasn't the best of performances from Manchester United. Palce, started really, really well. The press style, they created some very, very good chances and caused us all sorts of problems. Obviously, Jordan Ayew got a goal disallowed. There was a lot of controversy on that. A lot of people are saying, it should have stood, Jordan Ayew's goal. And I thought, Jordan Ayew had a really, really good game for Crystal Palace. Of course, Patrick Van Aanholt went off injured in the game as well. I think he's going to miss the rest of the season now for Crystal Palace. It's Patrick Van Aanholt. I think he got injured, for the build-up to our second goal. He got that injury, did Patrick Van Aanholt. But Crystal Palace know that they're safe. Of course, they have lost now their last 6 league games. Crystal Palace were looking to do their first ever double over us in the Premier League era. By the way, Solskjaer has given his verdict on the game, and obviously he knows it was a slow start from Manchester United and it wasn't the best of performances, but all that matters is we got the win. That is all that matters, and of course we did keep a clean sheet. Solskjaer has criticised our forwards, and he's actually said that they need to be more clinical in front of goal. They need to be more clinical in front of goal. But Solskjaer, did say prior to the game that he believes our attacking philosophy is close to emulating the great sides of the Alex Ferguson era. But yeah, very, very good win. And, we could have scored more than 2 goals, to be fair. Rashford had some good chances in the game. I read some of the stats of the game. I think, didn't we have more possession than Palace? I think we created around 13 chances in the game. But yeah, we are now in a good vein of form. 2 games remaining in the Premier League. And that's West Ham and Leicester on the final day of the season. Our game against Leicester on the final day of the season, could decide who finishes in the top 4. Because Solskjaer was recently talking about, the importance of Champions League qualification. And we need Champions League qualification, obviously, to help us have more of a competitive summer transfer market. And obviously, we will generate money. I'm still very convinced that we will finish in that top 4. But we knew it was a must-win game yesterday because obviously, Leicester did beat Sheffield United, didn't they, by 2-0. And like I said, we've got other priorities as well. The FA Cup. The FA Cup is a priority for us. That's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. We are into the FA Cup semi-finals. We have got Chelsea on Sunday, which is obviously, a huge game for us. Solskjaer was saying prior to the Crystal Palace game that the team was based on yesterday night's game, and he said it's irrelevant for Sunday's game against Chelsea. I probably do expect Solskjaer to make some rotation in the squad for Sunday. Also, too, the Europa League is a priority for us because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. And if we weren't to finish in the top four, then obviously, we'd have to win the Europa League to get automatic qualification for the Champions League. We're more or less into our last day of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg, and we do play Lask in the second. We do play Lask in the second leg on the 5th of August. And the quarterfinals of the Europa League is on the 10th and the 11th of August. But I've seen a hell of a lot of improvements now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's still things, we do need to work on. Don't get me wrong. I think, we need to be quicker in our play. We need to be quicker on the flanks. There's still obviously, areas where Manchester United are lacking, where we need to strengthen up. I think we need to, recommend the right winner in. We're also in search for a centre-half, even though we have got 7 centre-halves in the team. I heard that, we're in search for centre defensive midfielder. But I think, we're looking to make around 3 signings in the summer transfer window. Because Solskjaer did recently say that we've got to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But to be honest with you, I think we've got one of the best attacking trios in the Premier League. It's as good as Man City's attacking trio. It's as good as Liverpool's attacking trio. So it is definitely, up there. But Manchester United still need to make signings because, like I said, next season, Solskjaer will have bigger expectations to exceed. And our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. Because, this has been now the 7th season we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. And like I've said, we are the most successful team in England. We've won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. I still believe that we can get our 21st title under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. A lot of United fans now are starting to believe that Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for the football club. Obviously, my perceptions were contrast to what I've just said earlier on in the season, because earlier on in the season I was heavily criticising Solskjaer, and so too were a lot of Man United fans, because earlier on in the season we'd enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And at that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But yeah, but I have seen improvements now under Solskjaer. I really have. I think his decision making's improved. Now he seems to have a plan A. He seems to have a plan B. Don't forget, prior to the Crystal Palace game, in the last 5 games prior to that, he went with the exact same team. And that's the first time we've done that since February 1993. So that's 27 years ago now. And Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves. Because, when he first got appointed in as Manchester United manager, he did say everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And I think Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well this season. So I've got to give him a lot of credit for that. Like I said, we've taken 18 points against the top 6 sides this season. We've beaten Man City 3 times this season. We're due with Liverpool. Solskjaer's beaten Tottenham twice as a manager. We're beating Chelsea 3 times this season. We beat Leicester earlier on in the season. So I have seen a hell of a lot of improvements. And Solskjaer seems to be now getting the best out of a lot of the players, especially the top players. Because obviously, the top players endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. And, Jose Mourinho has got a bad reputation with the top players. But, Solskjaer's been at Manchester United now for 18 months. So he has been at the football club a year and a half. And I think, reflect on the amount of time he's been with Man United, Solskjaer, he has gained more managerial experience. He's still in the process of learning. He's still in the process of learning. But, Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. I think Solskjaer has now just got under 2 years left on his Manchester United contract, because when he got the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year contract at the football club. But like I said, there is a lot of uncertainty regarding the summer transfer window. Obviously, because of this coronavirus pandemic. Solskjaer did admit recently that the plans for next season, our pre-season plans and our transfer strategy are up in the air. Because of the uncertainty of how the current season will finish. We do know that the summer transfer window is opening on the 27th of July, and it's going to be open until October. So at least now we know when the summer transfer window is opening. One thing Solskjaer's confirmed, he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad, because he warned our players quite a few weeks ago that he won't tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. But he's already confirmed his transfer priorities. Solskjaer has got the backing of Ed Woodward, and he's also got the backing of the Glazers. The other month, Ed Woodward had revealed our financial figures, and he said our net debt was just over 429 million, and our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds, and the coronavirus pandemic had cost us around 28 million pounds. Don't forget, before the resumption of the season, we had taken a 140 million pound loan. Of course, we're going to be selling players in the summer transfer window, so we also need to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings. I think we're going to get rid of at least 6 players in the summer transfer window, because we're going to generate money if we get rid of players in the summer transfer window. We've already put 6 players up for sale, and that is Jesse Lingard, Alexis Sanchez, Chris Smalling, Rojo, and Delors. Chris Smalling, Delors, Rojo, Lingard, Sanchez. They're the players that Manchester United have put up for sale. And obviously, we have got rid of a lot of the deadwood anyway, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in as Manchester United manager. I think the recent player to leave the football club was Angel Gomez. But we have got a lot of young, good players coming through. A lot of good young players coming through. So that's obviously, very, very good. That's obviously, very, very good. But I have definitely, seen the improvements in the team. But hopefully, next season, we will, do well. Like I said, in the last 7 years, Manchester United have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We have spent a hell of a lot of money in the last 7 years. We spent close to the £1 billion range, and we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. But like I said to we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United and endured 22 years of success. Because let's put into the equation, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United, but won a total of 38 major honours under Alex Ferguson. But like I said, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, because like I said, we've sacked Moyes, we've sacked Van Gaal, and we've sacked Jose Mourinho. But we've got to get some silverware on the board, because we've lacked silverware. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's when we won the Europa League and the League Cup under Mourinho. It'd be good for us as well to win the FA Cup, because then we'd go level with Arsenal, because Arsenal are on 13, we're on 12. So at the moment, we're the second most successful team in FA Cup history, but we haven't won the FA Cup since 2016, and that was under the Louis van Gaal era. And that. Like I said, we are still facing a dilemma regarding the contracts, because we have got around 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So Solskjaer's got to make a decision on these 8 players. But to be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. But like I said, Solskjaer, he needs another season because it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. Like I said, Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players even from the Mourinho era because the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's. He's inheriting a few players even from the Van Gaal era, and there's still matter here from the David Moyes era. And there's still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era, so let's put that into the equation. And like I said, there's still long-serving players that are now at Manchester United. You've got De Gea that's in. This has been David De Gea's 9th season, approaches 10th year at the club, like I said. You've got Juan Mata that's still here. This has been his 6th season at Man United. I know he don't get in the team a lot, but he's still here. He's Juan Mata. You've got Martial. This has been his 5th season at Manchester United. You've got Marcus Rashford. He's been at the football club for several years. You've got Jesse Lingard. He's been at the football club for several years. This has been Pogba's 4th season at Manchester United. Luke Shaw. This has been his 6th season at the football club. But there you go. But I think now Solskjaer knows his best formation. A lot this season, Solskjaer's been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation. And I did say earlier on in the season that I don't think it seemed to suit our standards, that formation. I said, didn't I? We look much better with 3 at the back. But to be fair, I'll change my perception now. We do seem to look better now, that 4-2-3-1 formation since the resumption of the season, definitely. Solskjaer, I think, now knows what his best 11 is. If we can make some signings in the summer transfer window, depending on what players we get, I'll have an idea how we could line up next season. Obviously, we try to get Jadon Sancho on the board. You already know the news regarding him. Jadon Sancho is our number 1 priority target. Borussia Dortmund did say that they're expecting a £109 million bid for Sancho. But we're only willing to meet this £109 million valuation if we get qualification for the Champions League. And he has already made a transfer decision as Sancho that he wants to leave Dortmund and make a return to Manchester. So we're still looking to get Sancho on the board. Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets. I think he's going to leave Aston Villa because it's looking likely, Villa are going to get relegated. And even if Villa weren't going to get relegated, I still think, Jack Grealish would leave them. Probably Grealish will be available for maybe around 40 or 50 million pounds. You already know the news regarding Thiago from Bayern Munich. It's unknown where his next club's going to be. But there's been stories coming out saying that he's close to agreeing a transfer to Man United, Thiago Alcantara. His brother's spoken about it, saying that his move to Man United is on. You've had, journalists such as Christian Falk and Fabrizio Romano talking about the Thiago transfer saga. Reportedly Bayern Munich do want around £36 million for him. Liverpool have been emerged as the favourites to get him. But reportedly Liverpool are only willing to pay £18 million for Thiago. And he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. I think Solskjaer still wants Manchester. He still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players in. Because, there's been a lot of young players in our agenda and we've already missed out on 2 young players, and that's Erling Haaland. Like I mentioned, it was a shame that we didn't get Erling Haaland in January because it would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. And we've obviously missed out on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. It was also a shame that we didn't get him on the board. It was also a shame, that we didn't get him on the board. But yeah, so let's see who we can sign in the summer transfer window. But I think the players that have got foreseeable futures at the club is Rashford. Martial, I think he could be here for the next couple of years. Anthony Martial. Because he's done very, very well this season, Martial. He's done well under Solskjaer. I think he's had 2 good seasons, Martial, out of the 5 years he's been. He's had a good season this season under Solskjaer. And I thought it was fantastic in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Bruno Fernandes, definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. Bissaka, the foreseeable future for Man United. Probably Maguire as well, the foreseeable future, even though he's had some bad performances at Manchester United. I think, likes of Greenwood and Williams, they're also the foreseeable future. Possibly De Gea could be the foreseeable future. Daniel James, I don't know about him. Because obviously, if we was to sign Sancho in the summer transfer window, then, his position at the football club would be under threat. He's struggling to get game time now because Mason Greenwood's now ahead of Daniel James on that right-hand side. So, is there a possibility, chance that we could actually, offload Daniel James and put him out on loan for next season? We shall see. I think McTominay is the foreseeable future. I highly rate McTominay, but like I said, I don't think he was brilliant yesterday. At one point, McTominay was ahead of Matic, but since the resumption of the season, Matic has got there ahead of him. Solskjaer only made 2 changes yesterday night. Like I said, Foster Mensah and Scott McTominay came in, so there you go. Like I said, in regards to De Gea, he's going to be our number 1 for next season. I presume Dean Henderson will probably be our foreseeable. I think he'll be our number 1 in the foreseeable future, will Dean Henderson, but not next season. Solskjaer was talking a lot about Dean Henderson the other week, and he said that, he expects him to be Man United's number 1 and England's number 1 goalkeeper in the future, but he says he's not yet ready to become Manchester United's number 1, but he's done very, very well on his loan spell with Sheffield United. This has been his 2nd season on loan with Sheffield United. Left back, I think probably Luke Shaw's going to remain our first choice left back, but possibly Williams could become our first choice left back next season, or maybe the season after. We shall see. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. That's my only element of concern about him. But there you go. So anyway, guys, on my next video, I'll be giving you my player ratings for the games. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.